Welcome back, Devils fans. This is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And I am at the lowest point possible, my friends. The lowest point possible because last night's game against the Vegas Golden Knights was an absolute disaster on so many levels. The New Jersey Devils playing in the second game of a back-to-back, looking to build off the tremendous win over the Utah Hockey Club. The boys head to Vegas. Before the game, we find out Jacob Markstrom is making his triumphant return between the pipes for your New Jersey Devils. I am fired up. Most of you are fired up. What a time. Markey is back. Hopefully, we're all thinking it's going to provide a nice little jolt to the team, get them going. And so many things happened. We'll just get to the game. Devils and Golden Knights in a very close one. Scoreless through two periods, 40 minutes of 0-0 hockey. Very close. I would say the Devils were slightly getting outplayed by the Golden Knights, but not by much. It was very close, in my opinion. Through two periods, the Devils had 16 shots on goal. The Vegas Golden Knights had 15. They had a little more ozone time, but the Devils were right in the game. 0-0 through two periods, all you could ask for. Head to the third in the newest, biggest period of the season, looking for the elusive back-to-back wins. Markey's first game back. The plot lines were all there. I was feeling good after two. I was like, let's just go out there and win this third period, secure the win, and we'll be hopefully now on the right trajectory for the rest of the season in this home stretch. And in the third, it all just fell apart. It really did. Jack Hughes takes a penalty early in the period. I thought was somewhat questionable. At the time, Sheldon Keefe went ballistic on the refs. Jack Hughes getting back on D, kind of got tied up with the guy. They called him for the interference, and the Golden Knights immediately score on the power play. Stone gets a tip in front, gives the Knights the 1-0 lead at 1:27, and after that, I was like, okay, that really sucks. Maybe that penalty shouldn't have been called. The penalty kill failed to come up with a big kill, but we still have 18 and a half minutes left to claw our way back into this game. I thought, it's obviously not ideal, but we've been here before. The Devils have had plenty of comebacks in the past couple of seasons, even down multiple goals. And while Vegas is a good team, being down one goal, not the end of the world. And so I still had some hope. I was hoping the comeback would be on. But a little bit later in the period, Devils take another penalty, and the Golden Knights cash again at 9:10. Hanifin on a ripper. And leading up to that, Erik Haula won two big faceoffs. And unfortunately, we just couldn't clear. The first time, I think Mercer had a weak clearing attempt that didn't get out of the zone, and then somehow there was another, I forget all the circumstances, but then there was another faceoff. Haula won it. Someone went to clear it out, and I think it went into the bench or went out of play. So then Hall is there now having to take a third defensive zone draw in a row, and he finally lost it to Eichel. Eichel won it. Hanifin gets a bomb off, and Vegas takes the 2-0 lead. And that was the backbreaker. Hanifin gets his 7th of the season at 9:10, gives Vegas the 2-0 lead. And then late in the game, trying to mount a comeback, I think it was like a couple minutes left, or a minute and a half, something like that. Jack Hughes gets tied up with Eichel, actually. Skates kind of get caught up, and Jack Hughes takes a hard tumble into the end boards. Everyone gasps, holds their breath, and the worst possible thing happens. Jack Hughes gets up. He's kind of hunched over, supporting his arm. You don't really know if it's that shoulder that's been problematic for him throughout his career, or if it's a collarbone, his wrist, whatever the hell it is. Jack Hughes is grimacing in pain, immediately goes down the tunnel, and my first thought was, there goes the New Jersey Devils season. I mean, I hate to say it. We dodged a bullet in Utah. At the end of the second period, Luke Hughes went down, and we all thought Luke was going to be done. And Luke made a triumphant return for that third period, and then Timo scored a couple seconds into the third period, and all was well in Devils land. That was a scary one, but we survived it. I don't think we're going to get as lucky with this one. Jack really looked like he was in pain. I'm hoping it's not that same problematic shoulder. It could be something else, but either way, it didn't look good. He went down the tunnel, left the game, and based on Sheldon Keefe's reaction in the postgame, which was a very brief postgame, by the way, with Sheldon Keefe, it seems like, Jack's going to be evaluated, blah, blah, blah. It seems like he's going to miss a ton of time, and I'm thinking at best case scenario, the playoffs are roughly 6 weeks away. I'm thinking if the Devils are fortunate enough to hold on to a playoff spot, maybe we get Jack Hughes back for the playoffs. I could be wrong. This could be nothing. We're going to find out in the coming days. I'm hoping it's nothing and everyone overreacted, but it didn't look good. And given his history, I am completely nervous. And it could have a big bearing on what Tom Fitzgerald does this week leading up to the trade deadline. I mean, Fitz is going to have an idea, I'm sure, in the next few days what the severity of this injury is. But like I said, I'm thinking at best case, we get him back for the playoffs should we make it. And worst case, it could be a season-ending injury, I fear. That would be the worst, obviously. If it's a season-ending injury, we are so cooked. I hate to say it. Jack Hughes is the whole team in terms of offense. I believe going into the Utah game, Jack Hughes was on the ice for 20 of the Devils' previous 25 goals for an astonishing 80%. That is unheard of. Completely unheard of. He is the offense. And while the bottom six continues to struggle to produce, missing Jack Hughes for any sort of time is obviously devastating. And if it's a season-ending injury, oh my God. But we're going to find out. I hope we're wrong. I hope it is nothing more than maybe a couple days. But I fear for the worst. And now we turn the attention to the trade deadline. What is Tom Fitzgerald going to do? I do think this could affect how he decides to maneuver. Before Jack went down, I really thought we were potentially a top six and a bottom six guy away, in conjunction with the current team getting their stuff together and playing at a much higher level. I thought a top six and a bottom six could keep them competitive down the stretch and into the playoffs. And now I don't know. Super thin at forward, did not have any forwards to spare, especially our best offensive forward in Jack Hughes. And now what? A lot of people in the post-game live were talking about, oh, put him on LTIR and go get another guy, as if it's that easy to just go replace that production. I am now just completely devastated, pit in my stomach. I feel nauseous, and I don't know where we go from here. I have no answers. I have no idea what's going on. I'm sure tomorrow we're going to hear that Jack's being tested, and, we're going to find out soon. And then whenever we get an update, I'm sure it's going to be upper body injury week to week. That's probably what we're going to get. And week to week could mean anything from, again, couple weeks. Does he come back mid-March, early April? Is he gone till the playoffs? Is he gone for the season? No one knows. And I don't know when we'll get a definitive answer on that. But I do fear the worst, and it is the worst possible scenario for this New Jersey Devils club that is desperately trying to hang on to a playoff spot. Columbus and the Rangers on our heels within the division, trying to take our third spot in the Metro from us. The Canes won, we lost, so they have a little more distance between us and them. The chance of stealing the Canes' number 2 spot will probably be gone soon, and now we're going to be left fending for our lives to hang on to that third and final spot in the Metro, and then we can end up in the complete war that is the wild card. It's crazy. Teams are coming on hot. We blew the beautiful cushion we had from earlier in the season, and now we are in the fight of our lives to even qualify for the playoffs. And if we do make it, we may be without our number 1 offensive stud, Jack Hughes. I am just gutted. Another season that was so promising after Fitz that had all the great offseason moves this summer. I was super pumped for the season. What could have been a glorious night. What a swing of a third period. Had we pulled out the win, it would have been phenomenal. The team and all the fans would have been riding high. Back-to-back wins on the West Coast. Hopefully finally getting that ship steered in the right direction, heading towards the playoffs. And instead it ends up being a gutting shutout loss, foiling Markey's return, and Jack Hughes gets injured. I mean, it doesn't get much worse. It really doesn't get much worse. It seems like when it rains, it pours. That was the case with the Devils last season with all the injuries. We lost Michael McLeod to his legal issues. And it just always seems like something just to keep beating this team down. And it's unfortunate. I really feel like the team has been cursed as of late with no kind of end in sight. Just a black cloud lingering over the organization. I don't know. But I will tell you this. If they fail to make the playoffs this season, I just don't even know anymore, guys. I mean, I really don't. 22-23, I really believed. I truly believed in my heart it was finally the turning point for the New Jersey Devils. They were finally going to move out of the dark years of the franchise, which lasted way too long, basically a decade. I thought we were finally moving away from that. They set a franchise record with 112 points in the regular season. They go into the playoffs. They beat the Rangers in that amazing 7-game series, ultimately falling short to the Canes in the second round. But I truly thought that was the turnaround where it's like, okay, now with this core in place, we are going to be a perennial playoff contender and be in the playoffs for the foreseeable future with all these guys in place. I really believed that. And then last year we saw in the 23-24 season, the injuries killed us. Again, the McLeod situation and just all of these little things adding up, league worst goaltending, and it was too much to overcome. Tom Fitzgerald and the Devils decide not to make any moves until the deadline when it was too late. They bring in 2 goalies when the season was already gone, and we missed the playoffs. Absolutely crushing, devastating, a year of the core flushed down the toilet. And here we are again now. I put out a video the other day, Tom Fitzgerald at the crossroads. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I'll put a link in the description. It truly is a crossroads, and even more so now with the news of Jack being hurt. What is this team going to do? Are they going to punt on another season and talk about how bright the future is and how the window's just opening? We're in a decade-long rebuild right now, guys. Face it. We've been rebuilding constantly for 10 years. For 10 years, and outside of that 22-23 season, what do we have to show for it? We have absolutely nothing. We've become a laughingstock of the National Hockey League. A once proud franchise. Once proud. All my old school fans, shout out to all you guys that have been fans from back in the day like I was, or some of you even longer than me. Under Lou Lamoriello, we were a proud franchise, winning divisions, winning conferences, going to the Cup, winning 3 Cups in 1995, 2000, and 2003, going on playoff runs every single year, and it was a guarantee. I can't state this enough. It was a guarantee back in the day during the glory years of the New Jersey Devils. It was a guarantee we were going to the playoffs, and the only question was, can we win a cup? How far can we go? Etc. And now we're in this just purgatory where we were given false hope. Maybe I was crazy. I did believe in that 22-23 team, and I did believe it was the turnaround. I really did. I thought it was the turnaround for the franchise. And after last season, people were telling me I was nuts and that it was a complete fluke. Maybe I was crazy. Maybe those people that told me it was a fluke were right, even though I don't see how. I mean, it wasn't like we just snuck into the playoffs. It was a franchise record-setting season, 112 points. Think about all of the amazing regular seasons that some of those Dynasty Devils teams had. And for this team to beat that, to have the best season in the history of the franchise, regular season, win a playoff round, and now to be where we are, where we're just hoping to make the playoffs, it's just a complete loser mentality by many. I'm just hoping to get into the playoffs because I do believe Jacob Markstrom can steal games, can steal series, and you never know what could happen when you get in the playoffs, especially if the team starts clicking and gets hot at the right time. You could go on a run. A magical, magical run can happen. But without Jack Hughes, the dream took a big hit. And now I fear, how is that news going to impact Tom Fitzgerald and how he maneuvers leading up to the deadline? I'm at a loss for words. I'm severely depressed, honestly. This team, I live and breathe New Jersey Devils hockey, as many of you know. The team affects my mood more than it should. It really does, but I am a huge fan of this team, and I will always love this team. But between the up and down of the team's play throughout the season, you know, win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. It's just a constant yo-yoing of our emotions, up and down, playing with our hearts. And now Jack Hughes gets hurt. Leading up to the deadline, it's all crazy. So I don't know what to say at this point. This was a painful loss. I'll do the game stats real quick just because, but at this point, like, what does it even matter? Devils lose 2-0. Painful loss. Devils 25 shots on goal. The Golden Knights 24 shots on goal. Face-offs 51% for the Devils, 49% for the Golden Knights. Devils go 0 for 1 on the power play. The Golden Knights go 2 for 4, and that's how they won the game. 2 special teams goals for them. Devils 23 hits. Golden Knights with 20. Devils with 12 block shots. Golden Knights with 10 block shots. Devils with 18 giveaways. The Golden Knights with 12 giveaways. Devils with 2 takeaways. And the Golden Knights with 5 takeaways. And in the end, aside from the goals, I do think we were slightly outplayed, but they were right in the game through 40 minutes, 0-0. The game was there for the taking. Penalties cost us in the third, and that's all she wrote. Shutout once again. Another loss in the second game of a back-to-back. Another loss following a win. Again, just up and down. Just what a roller coaster of emotions with this New Jersey Devils team over the past couple seasons. But I am just at a loss for words. Hoping Jack is not too badly injured and he returns to the lineup sooner than later. Obviously, for him as a human being and as our best player on the team. Didn't look good. Did not look good at all. And maybe we'll find something out in the next couple days. I really don't know. But let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments. I mean, I know what a lot of you thought, but what did you think about this game in the comments? What do you guys think about Jack's injury? How do you think this is going to affect Fitzgerald and the Devils moving forward towards the deadline? Do you think they now use this as a convenient excuse to be like, well, we weren't going to go far anyway, so with Jack being down, it's not worth using assets to improve this team. Let's just punt once again and wait till next season, put our hands back in our pockets, and the future is bright. If that happens, I am going to be livid. With or without Jack Hughes, we are in a playoff spot right now, and you got to do better for the team. reinforcements must come. I'm hoping for 2 players like I've been saying all along. Even 1 guy I think could help, but the team has a lot of holes, and we need to address them as soon as possible. They're not all going to be fixed before the deadline, but between this deadline and the offseason, I do think we could be in much better shape going into the 25-26 season, but I'm not remotely there yet mentally. The 25-26 season does not start for another 7 months. Painful. I can't start looking towards next season. We're still in this season. We're still in a playoff spot. We still have a lot of good players. Markey's back. We have a great goalie. They got to try for the rest of these guys. They really do. But I'm curious to see how it all plays out. But throw out all of your comments. There's going to be tons on this, I'm sure. Probably one of the more commented videos in a while, I'd imagine. Between the devastating nature of the loss and Jack Hughes being injured. Throw it all out there. Anything, everything Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to all of you. And I'll be back soon. I'm still working on a bunch of stuff. I still have that Cam Jansen part 3 of the interview probably coming out later this week. I have Yegorov footage from Boston University that I took. But I'm just gutted, guys. But throw it all out there. I'll talk to you soon. I'll be back soon. I feel sick. I'm hoping for the best for Jack, and we'll see. But what a crazy week this is going to be leading up to the deadline when we get the news about Jack. There's so much stuff, but right now I just feel down and out. I'm not going to lie. I really hope we bring in the reinforcements and this team could kind of galvanize behind the Jack injury. We will see how it all plays out. We will. The trade deadline is oh so soon. Friday afternoon, we'll have our answers. But I'll be back. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.